I am so excited about this session, and I hope everyone will learn a lot. And so today's session, just okay, is about maps, scatter plots, and dashboard building. So let me just tell something about Tableau School. What's Tableau School? What we are doing here. So Tableau user group. This Tableau user group is dedicated to learn Tableau from start to hero, and with interactive live sessions like this one. And this is led by Tableau student ambassadors. So Tableau student ambassadors like Margaret are teaching Tableau here, and you can ask questions, you can interact with the instructor, and you are free to ask a lot of questions. Actually, the main value of this session, I believe, is being able to ask questions. And also you can watch this after the session on YouTube. And so that's about the Tableau School. About user group leaders, I am Idrak Atakshili. I am a data analyst and entrepreneur. And Annabelle Rincon. Annabelle Rincon is head of Center Excellence at Vontobel. And she is, how to say, the main drivers of one of the main drivers of this user group. So we are very happy that we have Annabelle in our user group. So more about Annabelle. Annabelle interested in Tableau. Annabelle has a very cute dog and loves chocolate. And she's from she's working at Zurich right now in Switzerland. And she's also co-leading analytics user group and data plus woman Zurich. And about me, I was intern at BP in finance commercial, and I am ex-Tableau student ambassador. And my passions about economics, data, films, and tea. I am from Baku, Azerbaijan, and I am also a junior entrepreneur interested in entrepreneurship. And ground rules, you can interact with the audience using chat session. You can ask questions to speakers using Q&A section. So, and some of the questions will be selected to be answered live at the end of the session. So the one rule is enjoy. So this session is for you, for your learning. And session is being recorded and will be found on the Tableau YouTube channel. So again, you will be able to watch it, and we will also send it by email afterwards. So about the curriculum of Tableau School, this session is the third session of Tableau School. So it's about maps, scatter plots, and dashboard building. And after this session, we will have 3 more sessions to how to say, complete the learning Tableau. So the next session will be about joining, blending relationships, and dual axis charts. So let me introduce you Margaret. So actually, I think Margaret will talk about herself a lot. Just I want to introduce Margaret to you. Margaret is from Nigeria. She's very talented person in data analytics and visualization, and she will teach a lot during this session. So Margaret, you can start the sharing, and I will stop now.
Thank you very much, Idrak. Okay, let me just share my screen. So welcome everyone to the third session of Tableau School. It's very nice to have you here. So just like what Idrak said, Tableau School is like a 6-session course. It's led by Annabelle, and we have the tutors to be student ambassadors from all over the world. We've had 2 sessions so far. The first session was Introduction to Tableau by Yash, and Yash is currently a master's student at the University of Manchester. We also have the second session where we dealt with time series, filtering, and aggregation, and it was anchored by Idrak. So I'm going to send you the link for you to be able to activate students' Tableau desktop. So Tableau is free. Tableau desktop is free for students. So you can use Tableau Desktop for 1 year for free if you're a student. So I'll send the link to the chat section soon. So, okay, in this session, we're going to be, just like what Idrak said, we're going to be talking about maps, scatter plots, and dashboard. Before I continue, I want to say a little bit about myself. So I'm Margaret Awodide. I'm a student at the University of Lagos, currently studying statistics, and I'm current student ambassador for Tableau. So quickly, I want to send the link. In case you'd like to join and the hands-on together, you may want to install Tableau on your system. And if you're not a student, you can use Tableau for 7 days of the trial. So, okay. So I'm sending the link now. Please confirm if you've seen it. I don't know if you've seen it yet. Okay.
Yes, we will receive it.
Okay, thank you. I'm just going to continue then. Okay. So yeah, to start with, in this session, I'm going to be dealing with maps, scatter plots, and then dashboard building, like building dashboards from scratch. So first of all, I'm going to start with maps. And maps are one of the types of visualizations we have in Tableau. In fact, they are one of the earliest type of visualizations we have. Initially, maps are used to like navigate, but you can see that in data analytics, we cannot use maps to interact with patterns in geospatial data. You can, for instance, if you look at the map here, we have the profits by country. So we can see that the countries with like orange have a loss or a lower profit than those with blue, and that the darker shades of blue have higher profits than the lighter shades of blue. So we don't necessarily need to use maps for just navigation this time around. We can also check patterns in our data using maps. And this is one of the benefits of using data visualization tools like Tableau. So in Tableau, we have 2 types of maps. As you see in the GIF here, we can have a point map or a tiled map. And the type of map is dependent on what you are trying to visualize or the purpose for your visualization. So when we go into the hands-on session, you see how these maps play out. Now we also have scatter plots, and if you're a statistics student like me, you probably add scatter plots a lot. And if you're not, scatter plots are used to like visualize the relationship between 2 numeric variables. So for instance, we have a scatter plot showing here the relationship between sales and profit. So for instance, if an item has a lot of sales, it probably have profit, a lot of profit at the end of the day. That means you can say there is a correlation, a relationship between sales and profit. It's used to find the degree of relationship between 2 numeric values or variables. So now we move into dashboards. So a dashboard is like a collection of several visuals, and it is especially useful because it allows you to interact with your data. So you're not just looking at one visual, you're going to interact with different parts of your data at the same time. So it is also useful to tell a story because you can use several visuals to tell a story about what is happening in your data. You can easily monitor trends when you are dealing with a dashboard than you will with a single visual. Now, it is very important to note that when you are building a dashboard, you don't put too many visuals at once because this will cause distraction. So you shouldn't make your dashboard crowded. And your dashboard should be created with a your target audience at hand. So it's good and nice if your dashboard is beautiful, but if it's not conveying the information you want it to convey, it's not really useful at the end of the day. You should use relevant visuals. For instance, you need to use a pie chart where a pie chart is necessary, a bar chart where it is necessary. You need to make sure the visual you are using portrays the data and it's able to tell the story you're trying to make it tell. You should also add interactions to your dashboard, and we'll see in the next slide, we'll see different dashboard objects that can help us to add more interactions to our dashboard. So dashboard objects. So like I said before, a dashboard combines several visuals together so that we can easily analyze for quick insights. Now, there are also several other objects, dashboard objects that make interaction better. We can add a text, for instance, we can add an image, we can add a download button, a navigation button. And these things are there to make the dashboard easier to interact with. So I'm going to show you some examples of the dashboard. This is an example of the dashboard. This is the global superstore dashboard. And we can see in this dashboard, you can see a map, you can see a line graph, you can see a pie chart and a table. So there are several visuals here, and we can also see some text to for us to understand what each chart is trying to explain. You can see that each chart has a chart title for us to better navigate our dashboard. So if we are using Tableau desktop or Tableau public, you'll be able to see each point of the visual and be able to interact with your visual. And this is another example of a dashboard. So we are going to be building a dashboard in this session. And if you have Tableau, you can walk along with us during this session. If you don't, the recording will be available, but it would be better if you could work with us as we build the dashboard. So I don't know if there's any question at this point. Okay. If there's none, probably going to go over the hands-on section next. So this is the dashboard we are going to be creating, something like this. So in the absence of any question, I'm going to go to Tableau desktop. Is there any question, please? No? Okay.
No question for the moment. Okay.
Okay. All right. So if you have Tableau installed, you have something like this on your system. And then before we can start, we have to connect to our data. So for this session, I'm going to be using the sample superstore dataset, and it's available on Tableau already. So once I use this dataset, you can easily access it on Tableau once you get Tableau installed. So you can just find the dataset here. This is the dataset sample superstore. Then you can click on it and wait for a moment. So that gets loaded. As long as you have Tableau installed, you have that dataset already within your system. So the first thing I want to do is to plot a line graph, a scatter plot, sorry. So I want to plot a scatter plot to find the relationship between sales and profit, just like we saw in the slide. So I'm going to drag profit, and profit is a measure, is a continuous variable. So I'm going to drag profit to columns. And then I'm going to drag sales to rows. And automatically Tableau gives us 1 point because it is this total of profits and total of sales that we can see at this point. Now, you could split this point into different groups. For instance, if I select a dimension such as category, I drag it to color. So you can see different colors for these scatter plots. We could also put other dimensions in our scatter plot so that we can see not just one point. We can see that at this point we have the categories with technology, the total profit for technology, and the total profit for sales. If we drag region, so if I go to location and I find region, I drag it to details, we can see the region and the profits and sales at the same time as a scatter plot. So in many cases, especially when you are dealing with statistics, you may not want to aggregate your data like this. You may want to find the exact point for your data. So in that case, you go to analysis and uncheck aggregate measures. So now what this does, and I can drag out this and this. So what this does is that it gives us the various points, the exact points. So we can see the exact profit and exact sales at each point. Now, we can see that for this is like a zero line, and every point after this, we have the profit to be less than 0, and we have the profit to be more than 0 at this point. So I want to filter by country, and filtering has been taught in the previous sessions. So I'm just going to drag country or region to filters. So I'll go here and select show filter. Okay. So we can see the filter here. I can go ahead to just select Canada if I like, and we can see the points for just Canada. If I selected United States, we'll see the points for Canada and United States. So I'm just going to select Canada in this case. Now we have profits and sales for just Canada. Now I can go ahead and in most cases, for us to easily visualize the relationship between two numeric variables, we would like to use a line of best fit over the scatter plot. And we can do this easily in Tableau by right-clicking and selecting trend lines to show trend lines. And with this trend line, we can see that there is a positive relationship between the two variables. If we hover around the trend line, we can see the equation of the line, the R squared, the p-value. If you want more statistical properties, you can right-click again and click on describe trend model. And this will give us more statistical properties. Here we can see the sum of squared, the mean square error, the degree of freedom, and a lot of other things. You can also copy it here and just paste it wherever you like. So now, one last thing I would like to do is, since we can see that we can see that some of the profits is negative, while some are positive. I like to drag profit to color. So you can change the color here by these colors and just select say green, red. Maybe it's 2. Okay. So based on this, now we can see that where we have the red color, we have a loss, and where we have the green color, we have a profit. And we can now rename this to the scatter plot. So I'm just going to rename it. Make this one here. Okay. So that's how to create a scatter plot in Tableau. There are various other things you could choose to add. You can add more filters. You can choose to aggregate it as average instead of sum. You can choose to remove the line if you like. You can choose to include it. So there are several things that you could do for your scatter plot. Now, so let me just name this scatter plot. So if you remember in the slide, we talked about scatter plots and we also talked about maps. So there are two types of maps, like I said, and I'm going to show you the reason why they are different from each other. Now, if you want to create a point map, automatically Tableau creates a map as a point map, and you can change this to be a tiled map. So say for instance, we drag, so we have our sales and profits variable, and we're going to be dragging this to detail. So once it is a geographical variable, Tableau automatically recognizes the longitude and latitude. So if I drag the sales of province to details, you see that the longitude and latitude is automatically generated. And Tableau generates this as a point map. And if you hover around the points, you can see the exact location for each point. Now, the use of this point map is that you can format each point to be big or small, and then we can add color to it. So we can add size and we can add color at the same time for us to easily analyze our data. So in this case, I want to drag sales to size. And then we see that for regions with a higher sale, the size is bigger. And for regions with lower sales, the point is smaller. We could increase this a little bit. Now we can drag our profit to color. And this gives us a color range from orange to blue. So we can see here there is a loss, and where there is blue, there is a profit. So I want this to just show, like the previous chart, to just show two colors, green and red. And yeah. So you can see here that everywhere we have red, we have a loss, and everywhere we have green, we have a profit. Now, we can also see that while Texas has a lot of sales, eventually it doesn't have profit. And although this point has a lot of, it does profit, but it doesn't have that much sales. So that's like the difference, the use of a point map. You can see sales and profit being shown on the map at the same time. So I'm going to name this a point map. Okay. Now, if you go to this part of, you go to map, you can see that you can format your map to however you like it to be. So you can over to background maps and see the various formats that are available for maps. We can change our map to the normal. We can see how it changes to make it dark. And you can see the each map, each region name on the map as well. We can also change it to street and see how that format. So I'm going to change this to satellite. Okay. Now, if you go around, you can see the country or region, the states, and the profits and sales for each point in the map. And next thing I want to, like you said, I want to create a tiled map this time around, so you could see the difference between a point map and a tiled map. So like we did before, I'm going to drag the states or province to details. And the longitude and latitude is automatically generated. So if you want to convert your point map to a tiled map, you go to the maps card and then you select map. Notice how this changes. So instead of having points all over the map, we have the actual map this time around, and then we can just drag profit. So in this case, we can't adjust based on size because this is fixed. We can only adjust based on color. So we can drag profit in this case to the color. I'm going to change this like before to, so I'm trying to stick to a theme of green and red. And we can see the difference between this map and this map now. Okay. So we could also format this map to another form. Okay. So I'm just going to name this child map. So now we've created the three maps that we wanted to for the for our dashboard. So what is left is creating a dashboard, adding this map to the dashboard alongside some other dashboard objects. So I'm going to go to dashboard and click on new dashboard. So if you look at this side of the dashboard, we can see the sizes. So there are various sizes that we can use for our dashboard. We have a fixed size, and the fixed size can accommodate each of all these sizes. You can also select a custom size. We have automatic size. So Tableau automatically resizes based on the screen the dashboard is displayed on. We have the range. So we can select a size based on the range, a minimum size and a maximum size. So for now, I'm going to stick to the fixed size. And then this. Okay. So we have the sheets we created our views on. So we can see the scatter plot, the point map, and the child map here. We also have the dashboard objects that I talked about earlier, and we'll see how this works out as we create our dashboard. So this is a blank sheet, and we can drop our dashboards, our sheets and dashboard objects here. So first of all, I want to show the dashboard title. The first thing I do usually is to drag blank here. So I kind of have a view of the dashboard I want to create, and then I partition dashboard based on that view. So I want this here, and I want this here. Another one, okay, to be a size. Okay. So doing this, all we have to do eventually is to drag each sheet to the place we partitioned it to be. So notice that our dashboard is currently inside, and I'll explain the difference between these two as we go. So we can start by dragging our scatter plots down here. And we can see the scatter plot, we can see the profits and sales, and we can see the difference between the two. So once you go up here, you see the filter and the card for us to understand the scatter plot better. So I want this to be floating. So what a floating object means is that the object can stay on top of another object. So it's not tiled like this. So to make this floating, I'll click on this drop down and select floating. So now we can see that we can put this on top of any image or anywhere we like it to be. I'm also going to select this and make it floating. So I'm just going to put this here for now. So I'm going to drag the point map to this location. And we can also see this card here. So I'm going to select floating for this as well, and just drag it here for now. And so I'm going to drag the title here, child map here. Okay. So I haven't done that. I want to go through some of the other objects we have. So we have the text box, and the text object, and it's used to create text boxes. We have image to upload an image on your dashboard. We have web page to upload a link. We have download to put a download button. For instance, you may want to download the data, or you may want to download the dashboard image, or you may want to download the dashboard as a PDF or as PowerPoint. We also have navigation in case you want to move directly to another sheet or go somewhere else. So navigation can like navigate between sheets. So the first thing I want to do is to restructure this so that it can enter this place. Okay. So I'm going to now another thing you should note, if you look at this, we have a filter, and if I say I check United States as well, you notice that the graph here, the scatter plot changes based on what we did in the worksheet. So we also have a dashboard filter, and what this does is we can use this to filter between other visuals in the dashboard. So if I make this dashboard, for instance, a filter, and I select Washington on this map, you see that every other point in every other visual in the dashboard adjusts to just Washington. And this is overriding every other filter within the map. So if you're going to make a dashboard a filter, is a good practice to like indicate it there that this chart is a filter in this dashboard. So you can drag a text box. So in this case, since I want to put my text box on top of the chart, I want it to be floating. So I want it to float on top of the chart. And I can just put a short text like click anywhere here to filter. Okay. So we can drag this on any part of the chart. Okay. So let me just select Canada for this. Okay. Now I want to also put another object here. So I want to make use of the download object so that we can go over how it works as well. So it's still in floating because I want it to be up here and I want it to float. So we can drag download here. So by default, the download object shows download PDF, and we can change this by clicking on edit button. So once we edit this button, it gives us a dialog, and here we can change what we want it to export to. We can export to as a cross tab, like the data we use, as an image or as a PowerPoint. So I'm going to just select image, and then we can choose whether we want it to be an image button or a text button. So you can also change the title. You can just put download image here. I want it to be, you can change the font, let's say black. Okay. And then you can make it have border or not, and change the background color. So I want the background color to be white. So you can choose a tooltip. That's like when you hover around the button, what does it show? So I can right click here to download dashboard image. Okay. So I want this to be size. And when we hover around this, we say click here to download dashboard image. So once you press alternate plus click, you'll be able to download the image directly. So I also want to walk through downloading, inserting an image on Tableau. So for instance, it's still in floating, I'll just drag image here. And then a dialog box opens that shows edit image object. So you can insert a file or you can just enter the link to your image. So if your image is stored in a web page or is a web image, you can just put the link there. And if it is stored on your local computer, you can just upload the file instead. So you also notice that we have URL open when image is clicked. So immediately the image is clicked on, you can put a URL. For instance, this is the URL for you to sign into Tableau as a student. So you can use Tableau Desktop for free for 1 year. And immediately if I put inside this here, you can be able to click on the link and to take you to the web page directly. Immediately the link is clicked on. So I'm going to choose A, and you can select the Tableau logo. So once I click on this, I click OK, you can see the logo here, and then you can resize it. Let me put this here. All right. So the next thing I want to do is to change the title. So you can change your title, you can change the font size. So for instance, you can change the font type of this. So there are a lot of fonts that are supported by Tableau. You can check some of them here. Okay. So I'm just going to stick with what is there currently. You could also change the font size. So let's make this 20. If we make this bold, if you like, okay, you can change the color. Let's say to red. Okay, since I'm going with red and green, let me see maybe now starter plus and dashboard. So I can just select green for this. And then, okay, everything should be good. Then I can make this to the left or to the right, and I can make it centralized as well. So I'm just going to click OK. So you can see this in action. So far we can see our dashboard contains our maps. I could make this bigger. So it contains our maps, it contains our scatter plots, and it also contains some dashboard objects. So if I were to edit this image, put a link here. Maybe I over around here, you can see that this is a link. You can even see the link on it when we over around. So now there are several other ways you can format your dashboard. If you go to dashboard layout here, you see some other things you can do. You can add a dashboard border, you can add a background color. You could also go to dashboard here and go to format, and here you see you can add a dashboard background or a shading. And you see that the color of the dashboard changes once we do that. Okay. Now, immediately you're done with your dashboard. For this particular dashboard, you can download it here, but generally you can export your dashboard as an image, or you can copy your image from the dashboard. You could also copy a particular item on your dashboard. So this is just a demo of how to create a simple dashboard in Tableau. I mean, there are other ways you can format it. You could add more objects to your dashboard, or you could add more maps. So yeah, I would like to know if you have any questions.
Yes, you have a question, Margaret. Someone asked if it's possible to add an internal use-only watermark on the dashboard.
Okay, in this case, what I would do normally, you could you could add an image underneath. Like when I added a blank, when I added blank before starting with my dashboard, you could add an image and then put your dashboard objects on that image. Okay.
You can also use a text or whatever solution that you would like.
So, are there any other questions, please?
Very quiet audience. Idrak, do you have a question for Margaret?
No, I think it was very good presentation and training. And if someone has a question, again, you can use Q&A. So we will wait for some questions, at least if someone will have a question after 1-2 minutes, they can ask.
It's a good opportunity. I wish I had that when I start learning Tableau, that I have people that I can ask a live question.
Exactly.
I had to figure out by myself. Sometimes I use a forum. The Tableau forum is cool also. But having live people answering is always faster.
Exactly. And it's good for networking as well.
Exactly. We had like a data plus woman yesterday, and the audience was very quiet too. So I don't know, maybe it's the weather. Or you did a so good job, Margaret, that everything was clear. And you did a very good job.
Okay. So in case you'd like to check previous sessions, you could go to Tableau user group, the Tableau school user group. So I'll provide the links to this in case you'd like to check it out. So let me just send them now.
And we will also send an email. So after Margaret, you can send us all the links that you would like. And we will share on social media. And we share also an email to everyone who register with the reference of the link.
And you can watch the previous sessions as well, just by typing on YouTube. Like if you write Tableau School, all our sessions will be there. So you can watch the previous ones as well.
If you click on the first link that Margaret shared, and you go at the bottom, you have all the sessions also that we currently have. So when you register for the new one, you can watch the previous one. Okay, so no question apparently. You're bad, guys.
No, okay, wonderful presentation from Abbas.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Margaret.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.